Have you had an opportunity to speak with Miss Leonard about this case to see if perhaps you can reach some type of an agreement before we move forward?
We did. We actually reset this case, so we were on docket for last Tuesday. This is actually the reset portion. And at this time,
Looks like
we
we need to
are
go forward,
owed
right?
4 months. Yes, sir. We're
Okay.
owed 4 months worth of rent. And we haven't received any payment or
Okay.
keys.
We'll
I
get
did,
into those
so
details.
sorry, do I have a moment?
Go ahead.
I did pay a portion last week. I'm in
Okay.
between jobs and I've been dealing with some major medical stuff with my family.
We'll get into those issues in
Okay.
just, okay?
But the movers are like the key. We discussed turning in the keys by the 1st. I
Okay,
already
well,
have the storage unit. Everything's been moved. I'm heading back over to the house to get the
Miss
final
Leonard,
pieces
Miss
today.
Leonard, we're gonna get into the case
Got it.
and you can talk about that. Okay, so I need to swear you both in first. And Miss Coggan, if you can please go ahead and unmute yourself. I'll have you both raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, Miss Coggan, this is your case. You may proceed, please.
Sure. So at this time, we are requesting possession of the unit. We are owed base rent $7,800. That would be the months of December, January, February, and now March. We have, we
What
gave
monthly rent?
1,950.
And you said this goes back to what date?
December.
December.
No payments have been made since December.
There was a portion paid last week.
Oh, so hold on, Miss Leonard, hold on. You'll have an opportunity. All right, so if I do the 4 months times 4, that comes out to
Yes, sir.
1,000. Sorry, I
1950?
my apologies. Let me do it again. All right, 1,700. You're correct. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. So 1,950 monthly rent, 7,800 past due rent prorated through today, which today's last day of the month. So, all right.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Tell me about the notice.
Notice to vacate was sent on February the 3rd. Miss Caitlin, she did mention to me that she had gotten a new job and that she intended to make some payments. However, we held off on filing until March the 4th was when our
Okay.
filing was made.
Let's go back to the notice. So you sent it on February 3rd. How many days notice did you give her?
I actually gave her. So the notice that I sent gave her until the 8th. So I gave her 5 days.
So give her 5-day notice. And what day did you file this eviction?
The court on March the 4th.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
No, not at this time.
All right, Miss Leonard, you said that you made some payments. What payments did you make? And do you have some evidence of that?
Yeah, so I paid Lindsay last week. I asked for an extension. It has been a also my place I have not been able to live at my place due to a leak and mold. I do want to add that, and I have not been at my residence.
Let's take this one thing at a time.
Okay.
You said you made a payment. What payment did you make?
I paid $1,000 last week. I
Okay.
asked for a little bit more time. Again, this market has been awful. The meta job fell through. I have another final interview tomorrow with a role. I will be back on my feet very quickly. I'm sorry.
Hold off just a moment, okay? I know
Sorry,
there's a lot of information you want to tell me, okay? But let's stick to the questions and
Okay.
then I'll ask you if you have other things to add, okay?
Got it.
You said you made $1,000 payment. How did you make that payment?
I paid it last week through the app website that the landlord uses hasn't been working. It was shut down. So I asked Lindsay, yes, on the portal, because I needed a little bit more extension.
Hold on. Just answer the question only, okay? All right, we'll get through this a lot quicker. So you made $1,000 payment on the portal.
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember what day that was?
It was last Tuesday.
Okay, Miss Coggan, can you look up on the portal to see if there was a payment made on Tuesday?
I'm actually looking at the ledger right now. There's no payment reflected.
Okay.
No,
So
I
Miss
paid
Leonard,
$1,000.
Miss Leonard, do you have some record from your
Yes.
bank showing that the payment was actually
Yeah.
withdrawn?
I paid it, Lindsay, because in the court did the extension due to the payment. I was able to get a brief loan.
So I actually asked for the extension before the payment reflected as a courtesy because she's been there for a long time. And there's no payment
Okay.
on her account.
So Miss Leonard, I need to see some evidence that the payment actually in fact went through.
Okay, let me see. Get a receipt. I'm logging into the account. I can forward an email to, let me see. Is there something that would cause it not to draft? I'm showing it's still in the Venmo that I sent, but I have a receipt that I paid. I was not aware of this at all.
You have not received notification that you paid.
No, I received when I issued the payment. Let me go to my email that has it's linked to my account. I had confirmation that I paid the landlord. I'm seeing it in my Venmo account right now. But last week when this happened, I had confirmation of the receipt.
As far as I'm aware, I don't know that it accepts Venmo. I've only
No,
ever
it's through
seen
Apple Pay.
credit card,
Apple Pay.
or
Miss Leonard, Miss Leonard, Miss
ACH.
Coggan, Miss Leonard, Miss Coggan. Okay.
It let me do Apple Pay.
Oh, Miss Leonard, Miss
Venmo
Leonard,
link.
please stop.
Sorry,
You cannot speak while other people are speaking, okay?
apologies.
Promise you, you're going to have ample opportunity to say what you need to say. Okay, but let's keep this brief. Let's keep it to the questions that are asked. Okay. Now,
Yes,
Ms.
sir.
Coggan made a comment that the portal does not accept payments from Venmo. So if you have some record that you made a payment and it cleared your bank, I need to see that. If you do not have it, then that's fine. I just need to know if you have that or not.
I have it. I'm pulling it up right now. So it's through Apple Pay, which I have a Venmo debit card linked to my Apple Pay, and it let me pull that up for you.
You should be able to share your screen. Stephanie, make sure that she has access to share her screen.
Let me see. I'm searching in my email right now. Do you have the exact date of last Tuesday? That was the 24th.
Yes, it's like 24th.
Perfect. Did not clear.
Okay.
I was under the me and Stephanie had, or Lindsay, I'm sorry, had discussed if I paid it was fine and I could get a brief extension, which I thought it was. I have the funds right here. It's all saved. Let me try to do another one right now.
Ms. Leonard, don't send the money right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if you put your camera back on, please.
And I have a confirmation that I did issue the payment. I have that confirmation though.
So you have
It took-
confirmation that you sent the payment, but there's not confirmation that it actually cleared and was
It
paid.
didn't clear.
Okay, so that means that it did not get paid because you still have it in your account. So I can't give you credit for that. Now, let me ask you, are there any other credits besides that you believe you're entitled to that you did not receive?
I have had a really bad, so I transferred units. I guess no, sorry.
Okay, and I'll just let you know because in case you, since you brought attention to the fact that you had either water issues, you've had problems. This is an eviction case, and in these eviction cases, it's very narrow and tailored as to what issues you can raise in this court. As a general rule, there's two basic things that I'm looking for. There are other little things, but the two key items that I'm looking at here, number one is the notice proper. Okay, we have to make sure that that's done, and it appears that everything's proper, and there's no claim here that there wasn't a proper notice. So number two is payment being made. Absent that, there are no defenses that you can raise on an eviction case. Okay, in other words, you have to have paid the rent, or you have to have paid an amount in order to get credit so that the judgment is less. There are no counterclaims allowed in this court. So for instance, if something's not working, let's say it was the water, or let's say it's the plumbing, let's say there's no air conditioning in the middle of the summer, no heat in the middle of the winter, all of those things, you would have to file it under a repair and remedy claim. okay? And in a repair and remedy claim, you can file that, but in order to be successful, you have to have been paid up in your rent, and you have to go through certain procedures of notice for them to fix it, and they refuse to fix it, those type of things. None of that is relevant here in this case, okay? So that's why I'm asking the questions about payment and about credits and about notice, okay? Is there anything else that you wish to add in your defense in the case?
I would like to add that I have a few pieces left at the house. I just came back up from Houston. I'm getting the final pieces out. Movers, all that's been arranged. I haven't even been living at the place because I'm unable to live there due to everything. I also am, I would prefer to say 6 weeks, but within 4 weeks, I can have the full balance paid, hoping within the next 2. But again, I don't want to say that just because I don't have my official start date. We're talking about the final details of my offer tomorrow. My call's at 3 p.m. tomorrow to finalize the details. So I'm hoping to pay everything by the end of the month.
I will explain to you what your options are on what
Okay.
you can do, okay, here in a moment. In the meantime, I find that the monthly rent is $1,950, that the past due rent prorated to today is $7,800. That'll be the judgment of the court. You may appeal my decision, and you have 5 days to file that appeal. And your appeal bond will be set at $3,900. Now, there are 3 different ways that you can post a bond for the appeal. And the first way is in cash. If you had the cash, you probably wouldn't be in this situation. So that may not be an option for you. The second way is you can go through a bonding company. Civil bonds are a little bit different than criminal bonds, but you would have to talk to them. There's a cost associated with it. Again, a lot of times that is not an option that's feasible for people. The third option is you can file an affidavit of inability to pay. The court here has those forms. You can get them online, you request them online, or you can come here in person. The court, meaning the staff, cannot assist you in filling that out, but they can certainly give you the form and you can fill it out on your own. Again, you have 5 days. Bear in mind that 5 days from today is a weekend day. So you'll get the next work day in order to do that. All right. So you can file it by the next work day. If you do not file it, then the apartment complex on the following day after Monday, a week from today, they can then file the writ of possession, which means that it'll come to the court. The judge, myself, or Judge Holmes would sign it. We then send that to the constable's office. They take a group of people to your apartment and remove anything that's in there. You've already indicated that you have pretty much everything out. Okay. But that's basically what they would do. Now, if you still have items in there, you're responsible for securing those items once they put it on the street. Now, if you've moved out completely and you turn in the key, you can always do that, right? But because we're having this hearing here today and right now, and the key has not been turned in and you have not turned over possession, then that's why we're still going forward, okay?
Okay.
The other option is try to work out something with the apartment complex on how to pay that balance. Well, clearly you've already decided that you're leaving. There will be a judgment against you. Now, once you pay the judgment, then at that point, they would then release that judgment, okay, after the fact. So that is, in essence, the procedure. If you have any questions, there's paperwork, again, here at the court that will outline some of these things that I just told you. Do you have any other questions, Ms. Leonard?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Good luck to you, ma'am.
Thank you.